Yippee-yi-yi,
Hello, my fellow readers. My name is Greg, and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky. I'm here with my weekly roundup. It is December the 13th, 2025. A short list of what I've read, what I'm reading. Start with, I've been working my way through this volume of Willa Cather. This is a Library of America edition. It has short stories, what's called short stories, and early stories and novels is what it's called. Early stories and novels. And I have read one more short story in here called The Sculptor's Funeral. It was originally published in 1905 in McClure's magazine, and then published also in a 1905 collection of short stories called The Troll's Garden. And it's the story of, well, a funeral of a sculptor. Harvey Merrick grew up in a small town in Kansas, fictional town called Sand City. And then he went off to Boston, became a sculptor, became a teacher. And after he passed away, seems like he's fairly young. His parents are still alive. His body is sent home to Sand City, Kansas. And he's accompanied by his student, Henry Stevens. And Henry gets off the train and meets all of these townspeople. Most of them are not very nice people. And it's a really interesting character study, almost of a town. In some ways, it reminds me of Mark Twain's The Man Who Corrupted Hadleyburg. It's similar in that it really focuses not so much on individual characters as on the town and how Harvey Merrick's family, the people that he grew up with, how they respond to his death. So I'll keep going. I'm only, where's my bookmark right there. So I just got a couple of 2 or 3 short stories that I've read so far, and then it has a bunch of novels, and I'll keep plowing through that. I do love Willa Cather. The cowboy poem I read this week is from Wallace McCrae. Comes from this compilation of cowboy poetry. It's called The Lease Hound. Wallace McCrae was a cowboy poet and rancher, lived in Montana, Fortine, if I believe is right, near Colstrip. And he wrote a lot of really fantastic environmental poems about rural life and about rural people, but his best ones would fit into Climathon reading. This is one of those. I think it's really good. It ties in really well to a poem I read way back of his called Things of Intrinsic Worth. And it's worth watching. I'll put a link below to my reading of The Lease Hound and also a link to the Wallace McCrae playlist, the poems that I've read by him. And then the other book I'm currently reading is Charles Dickens' The Pickwick Papers. This is part of the Dickens at Christmas read-along event that's hosted by Alan at Alan's Reads and Julie at Bookish Travels. We're reading as a group, quite a few of us reading the Pickwick Papers. It is a series of stories about Samuel Pickwick and his friends who are traveling around England, primarily around Kent, having experiences and meeting people and hearing stories and writing all of this down as things that they can take back to Mr. Pickwick's club, which is called the Pickwick Club, so that he can relate and collect and show off all of his adventures. A lot of it is quite amusing. Some of it is sad. There are some recurring characters, and there are some stories that are just standalones as someone else tells them a story. And some of those stories have been collected in other anthologies. But I am thoroughly enjoying this. The group is somewhat mixed. We have a couple of people who really are not enjoying this book. We've got a lot of people who are thoroughly and absolutely enjoying it. And I think we cover the entire range, the entire spectrum. We're scheduled to read this through the rest of December, so I'll be working on that and a few other things here and there. I don't know exactly what else I'm going to read in December. I may read Pickwick Papers and a handful of short stories and call it a month. We'll see. I really don't have, other than Pickwick Papers, I don't have any solid plans for December. That's really all I got for you. Thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for being part of this BookTube channel. I really appreciate you. Thank you. So until next time, my fellow readers, my name is Greg, and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky. Yippee-yi-yi.